Well, hey there, everyone, and welcome to today's VIP Trade Room with Roger Scott and Matt Horton. My name is Raleigh White, and I am coming to you live from Austin, Texas, and I'm going to be your moderator today. Now, in today's session, Roger is going to be covering a range of important topics with a focus on his signature trading platform, the ProTrader dashboard. And in today's session, he's going to talk about multiple time frame analysis and why it's the key to his success. He's going to also talk about the multi-time scanner that we recently introduced to the ProTrader dashboard. He's going to share with us how to scan for short and long-term setups using the ProTrader dashboard, confirming price action after the scan, okay, and his favorite high probability setups using the ProTrader dashboard, including the fact that he plans to do some shopping for some bonus trades that we might see during today's session. Now, if you have any questions during Roger's presentation, please type them in the chat window and we'll address them periodically throughout the session so as to not interfere with Roger's presentation. And remember, folks, the chat will be open to everyone. And here are the ground rules. Always be kind. Keep to the topic. No political discussions whatsoever allowed. And remember that we are a 100% supportive trading community here to help each other to become more confident and consistent in our trading activities. Now, this morning, when Roger opened up the session, the pre-market section, he shared with us that, he looked at the sectors and he said, the sector analysis is pretty mixed and there are no real tech leading sectors there that potentially is what drives the markets. He said he saw no directional bias in the markets, given the fact that there were very few companies making all-time highs or all-time lows. So everything was kind of like in a middle ground. He also noticed that, with the extreme gains that we saw with Google and Apple overnight, he was wondering, is the rest of the market going to buy into that? And are they going to catch up? Because Apple and Google were definitely stand-ups. When looking at the SPY, the SMH, the QQQ, the MAGs, the Dow, and the RSP, they were all basically down at various support levels, including the 8 and the 15-day moving averages. So everything seemed a little suppressed without anybody really indicating that they were going to potentially break out of what was going on. Now, in addition to all that, he said that he felt that today would be pretty choppy, and he didn't expect there to be much follow-through on pretty low institutional volume. Most eyes this week are going to be on the job reports coming out on Thursday, and of course, then there's the biggie coming out on Friday, the monthly employment report. He also recommended, folks, that we should sit on our hands until after 10 a.m. when the JOLT job report was going to be coming out. And I know that it came out a little worse than expected, but he didn't think it would be worth getting in the markets before then. He also did notice that the VIX was still elevated and that this is bad for stocks. As a matter of fact, he spent a fair amount of time looking at and analyzing the VIX. And he said, you know what, folks? Keep your eye on the VIX today. If it remains elevated, that's not going to be good for the stock indexes. So keep an eye on the VIX and the stock indexes. As far as catalysts for today are concerned, you know what he means by catalyst. This is information that is known but not yet priced into the markets. Since this is a pre-market commentary he's doing, he said we've got Fed data coming up. We already talked about that, JOLTS and factory orders coming out at 10 a.m. And then we have the Fed Beige Book coming out at 2 p.m. this afternoon. Other catalysts, retail, Dollar Tree, Macy's, and Chipotle were all pointing up in pre-market. Then we had the MAGs, okay? MAGs, basically that's the top 7 tech stocks being driven by Google, which was up 5%, and Apple, which was up 2% in pre-market. And then he noticed that cybersecurity would be the other catalyst, with Zscaler and Fortinet down in pre-market trading. Now, as far as Roger's small cap watch list was concerned, he noted that there were 3 stocks that he had his eyes on, and I am going to publish those for everybody here in the chat panel so that you can see what he selected. AIHS, he felt if it was above 4.45, it would be worth looking at. GEG above $4.15, and STI above $8.80. Now, remember, folks, with these small caps, right, the key here is price action and volume. It's the combination of those two things that Roger focuses on. Also, remember that small caps are not market dependent. They're driven by retail traders, and you should only basically consider trading these during normal market hours. And if you haven't seen that level hit or a move, before 2 p.m. Eastern time, man, bag it and come back and take a look at it tomorrow. These are stocks that we expect to see moving pretty quickly. What the heck is going on?
Let me ask her.
Excuse me for a minute, folks. I've got some activity going on in the background here, and I don't know why that is. Let me turn that off. Okay. Now, as far as his daily stock watch list is concerned, he had a number of shorts and longs that he was looking at, and I want to go ahead and publish that for you here as well so that you can see them. And so once again, there were a number of longs and shorts on his list. And you know how Roger does. He brought each one of those up. He looked at the charts and he gave you his thoughts on those. And his caveat always is, if you're looking at trading these stocks, make sure that you have a solid, breakup for those that you're looking to go longs on, or breakdown for those that you are looking to go short with. So this is essentially what Roger saw as we were coming into the markets. And once again, today's focus for the VIP session is going to be on his signature trading platform, the ProTrader dashboard. And he's going to be covering multiple time frame analysis and why it's the key to success, how to use the multi-time frame scanner, scanning for short and long-term setups, confirming price action, his favorite high probability setup. And if we're lucky, we might have a bonus round here where we look for a few stocks. And with that, folks, once again, thank you all for coming today. Let's say hi to Matt. Let's say hi to Roger. Guys, how you doing today?
Doing great. Hey. How are you doing today?
I'm doing super, Roger. Always good to see you. Always good to see Matt. It was interesting, sitting through the pre-market commentary today, Roger, and where we are right now. You've done an awesome job keeping everybody up to speed in your Telegram channels, advising what's going on. Market internals, have been key this morning, haven't they? They've kept us out of some bad decisions, and they've also supported some good decisions.
Yeah. Yeah, and a lot of the things that we talk about came into play today, and I'll go over all of it, but folks, it's amazing how good all of this stuff works if you pay attention, if you pay close attention. All you got to do is strip away all those biases that you have, and things really the skies begin to open up. Let me say hello to everybody, and then we'll begin. I have a very important show for you today, where I'll actually be talking about a lot of the stuff that's happening today, per what Raleigh is talking about right now. We got Steve, we got Richard, we got Kevin, Devin, Bill, James, JB on YouTube. Let me now say hello to everybody here. I want to make sure I say hello to everybody. I miss all of you. I haven't seen you or talked to you guys in a while. Raleigh makes me turn the chat off, which is a good thing, but I don't get to interact as much. Rihanna, Steve, Stacy, Robert, Cyrus, Kendall. How are you, Kendall? Bugs, Jill, and folks, if you have a question for me, and if you feel like I'm avoiding you or ignoring you or whatnot, send me an email, please. Roger@rogerscott.com. Jill, good morning to you, or good afternoon now. John, Cyrus, Andrew, Ken. Matt, Christopher, Flash, Kevin, Tammy, Rock, George, John, William, Flash, Scott, Dan, Jesse, Tim, Dr. Mike, Terry, Sean, Annie, Sharita, Peter, good morning. Good afternoon. I keep saying good morning. Scotty, Wild Ranger. Thanks, Wild Ranger. Michael, how are you, Michael? I haven't seen you in a while. Michael Petranto, Stan, Steven, Petro, Marky Mark. No, I never re-entered the small caps. So I'll talk about that as well. Just give me a second. Just want to say hi to everybody. Phil, Deanna, Ed, Art, Omar, Bev. No scratch on my forehead that I could see. Oh, maybe I do. It's my hair. I think it's my hair. Sharita, David, Ken, SB, Ooh, SB, 2 week pneumonia. Wow, I hope you feel better, man. I hope you feel better. Glenn, the PTDs, the PT Pro Trader board is the best tool I've ever seen. Thank you very much, Glenn. I appreciate that. Very kind of you. Marina, hello there. Cassie, Maggie, Robert, Scotty. Um, hey, Joanne, how are you? David, Scott, Mike, Maria, excuse me, Maria, Hopium, Peanut, Tim, Elisa, yes, Bev, Joel, Jim, Louie, Catherine, and I think I read everybody's name. All right. And if I missed your name, I apologize. That is not the intent here. I'm just kind of going a little quick. And I want to make sure that everybody follows up. So let me go ahead and share my screen. Let me pull up TC2000, share my screen so we could be looking at everything. First off, did anybody get in? So you know those three stocks I gave this morning, Raleigh, the AIHS, STI, and GEG. So
Absolutely.
the one of them, AIHS, really hit it off. And what I like about the way I give you these picks is most of the time, obviously not all the time. Let me share my screen. But a lot of the times they'll either hit hard or they just don't hit at all. They don't give you a lot of false signals. So here's AIHS. That's the one. I gave you a signal to buy above, I believe, 420 or something like that, and it went all the way to $8 above the 200 right here. And I gave you a signal on STI to buy at 890. Well, it never went up to 890, so nothing to do. And I also gave you one on GEG, and I told you to buy that one above 415, and it never went above 415, so there was nothing to do. So they tend to hit really well or they don't hit at all. And that's because of volume, volume, volume. You got to get the price action, but you got to get the volume right. All right, so I'll keep giving them to you till you guys tell me to stop. But so far, the feedback I'm getting is that we'll kill you if you stop giving them. Please keep giving them; they're great. I don't. So if they close, so here's the deal, guys. This is a good question. Should we keep them for the next day? The answer is if they're in the last half hour, if they're closing on their highs, it's okay to hold them overnight. But I would take partial profits and I would put your stop loss at break even at that point. So I would take profit, I would raise your stop loss to break even, and then I would take your profit. I would take a good portion of your profit off, so you have a good cushion going into the next day. And that's only if they close or are closing or running up at the end of the day. Okay, so for example, if AIHS starts just bolting up to the $8 range and just yes. That doesn't happen very often. Most of the time, they'll peak out. Remember, these stocks don't have a lot of institutional sponsorship. Okay? They don't have a lot of institutional sponsorship. So once they're done, they're done. They blow their load and they're done. The mountains get smaller and smaller. See the mountain get smaller and smaller and smaller? That's usually how they work. Institutions are different. That's why I trade large caps most of the day. But these are good for little run-ups. The good thing about these stocks, they have no relationship to large caps or all that stuff that I talk about all day about the S&P relative strength. It has no implication here. It has zero implication here. These are not driven by institutions, so we don't need to worry about what institutions are doing. So just letting you know, okay? Letting you know. Okay, so I want to talk today about something really important that a lot of you guys don't take into account. A lot of you guys don't take this into account. But first, before I do, I want to run through all our stocks in the ProTrader dashboard. What do you guys think of that? So we could see how the volume looks and we could see which, if any, we should be targeting today. Okay. And then I want to talk about the lessons that I had. But first, let's look at these stocks. Let's get this out of the way, okay? Now, don't be fooled into thinking I'm doing this for you. I'm actually doing this for myself because I'm thinking what trades I want to take, and this is my watch list. So overall, the Volt is making. So let's first start with internals. The Volt is making new lows on the day. There's not much divergence here. Are you still in that trade, Matt?
We are.
Oh boy.
We went right to pre-market low and we bounced hard right off of it. So I told him that.
Yeah. So first things first. If you look at ADD, you could see it's negative 230, and this thing is barely alive. Look how small the bars are. There's not much momentum. Basically, stocks are kind of a little bit below where they closed or right where they closed yesterday. There's not much momentum. If you look beyond the morning, there's nothing. Nobody's pressing firepower at all. This thing didn't go below 500, and it didn't go above 438, which is kind of confirming this, which means there's no rhythm to the market. Right? There's no rhythm, because if you don't have a lot of stocks moving, you're not going to have a lot of rhythm. And we haven't had a lot of rhythm. You don't have any of those big volume pushes. And if you want to get really deep into it, if you look at the SPY, the volume on the SPY is 27 million contracts, 27 million. I keep saying contracts like I'm trading futures, 27 million shares. And we're only we're about halfway done with the day. The average is 70. This is low volume. This is not a high volume day. I mean, it's not a really low volume day, but it's not a high volume day. So internals are going south. ADD is not cooperating, and neither is tick. So we have mild downward pressure right now. Mild downward pressure. Okay. Now, after we do that, now let's now look at all of that. So because we don't have a lot of volume, we want to find stocks that have some volume here. Otherwise, it's just there's not much there. And you're going to get a good entry, and you're going to end up just being flat, and you're going to go home without much there. Okay? Good for you, Ken. Good for you. Okay, let me do the short side first. KDP. Okay, well, it's actually outperforming the market right now. Would we take a stock that's outperforming the market right now? No. What's the stock been doing for the last hour and a half? Nothing. Do you think there's any edge here? No. Volume's good. Volume's good. You got hourly volume, but I mean, we're above the VWAP. We're above the VWAP. There's nothing here. I wouldn't call this a major edge. We have volume going in our favor. So if this breaks down below the VWAP, and if relative strength starts getting... So if two things have to happen, we have to break below the VWAP, and relative strength has to becoming red again. None of those things are happening right now. And our momentum oscillator our quad momentum oscillator is actually green right now. So there's no reason to take this trade right now. Okay, let's continue. Cold. Now, you see how I'm using the ProTrader dashboard after I get a hit list on my dailies? Dailies, I just use regular charts, so you don't have to worry about it. Now, this looks different. This doesn't have volume. It has a little volume, not a lot of volume, but it's below the VWAP. It just got a signal here. This is red, but we're still outperforming the market right now. So it's okay. I mean, is it amazing? No, it's not really amazing. There's nothing amazing about the stock right now. It doesn't look bad. The fact that it bounced off the VWAP, the fact that volume, the 15-minute volume is better than normal, the fact that it's 43% right now, it's okay. But am I like in love with this stock? Not really. All right, let's continue. KEX. All right, let's see here. What are we working with? We're well below the VWAP. We have a nice downtrend. Volume is strong. So we got look at this red. Now we're talking. Okay? We don't have a runaway downside market. We don't have a downside market. Like it's not moving like this parabolically. It's just moving, so it's not overdone. The only problem here is relative strength is we're losing relative strength. I mean, we're gaining relative strength. It means we're losing relative weakness. Excuse me. We're losing relative weakness. I want the opposite. I want it to look like this. So do I really want to short a stock right now that can't get below the market? That's moving, and it's been moving sideways for about 20 minutes now as the market's been going down. So it's looking okay. But again, I'm just showing you everything that, kind of giving you the whole enchilada. ISRG. And remember, I already pre-screened these on an intraday chart. Okay, now this looks interesting. Now this looks like it would be a perfect trade to take right around here. Right around here. This is overextended. Now, it's below the VWAP. We got volume. We got hourly, 30-minute, 15 and 5. We got great volume here. Volume is good. We got great price action. I wouldn't chase this. I would put an alert at the VWAP or maybe at the 15-day here. So I'm just letting you know. But do you see how the ProTrader dashboard is allowing me to fine tune on it? We got the red here, right? We got the relative weakness here, but it's just a little overextended. Well, how overextended it is? This is where it started. Because see how it starts running away from the 15? Is this actually the 15 or the 8? This might be the 8. I don't even know if this is the 15 or the 8. Eight. Okay, it's the 8. Sorry. Yeah. 8 intraday is fine. It's right here. Would be a perfect bar right here. This is a little too much. A little too much. A little overextended. Oh, I'm not going to go chasing this. Okay. Gold is still breaking down. Are you still long, Matt?
Yep.
Oh boy, he's a brave man. But we're not really diverging much. So okay. And we don't really have a lot of firepower to the
Tech
down.
is still getting stronger. Mags at least.
These are not my morning watch list. These are new. This is a new watch list. I like to create a new up. Now, some of them may be from this morning, but I don't really care about that. Okay, this is looking pretty good. Now, notice this is not. It's got a nice down move. It's coming off. It's got no volume. It's got no volume. It's got zero volume. Look at this. Look at FIS versus. Look at that versus ISRG. Look at the volume. 65%, 30-minute, 5-minute, hourly. And you don't have to have all of these line up, just as long as you have higher than normal volume. Don't try to get too fancy into the volume. You just want higher than normal volume. And another one was Kex, I think. Yeah, look at this. Volume. Look how it lights up 171%. But again, it's losing relative strength. I mean, it's gaining relative strength. QSR. Look at that. Every time it tries to come up to the VWAP, it bounces right back down. But look, we're kind of all over the place here. Volume is very low. So not really great. Now, all right, let's move to the long side. BE. Well, it's outperforming the market. It doesn't have a really good volume. It's got a beautiful daily chart keying off of the 8-day. It looks okay. I mean, there's nothing wrong here. I wouldn't be buying it right now, but yeah, maybe something to look at. APP. And again, look how quickly you could see what you need to see and move on. Look at how this stock, look at momentum. Look at momentum. Now, look at relative strength is still rising. Price action is not. And look at, now, would I be buying this stock right now with this? No. This looks at 3 different time frames. Here you're looking at one time frame. This is looking at 3 time frames. This is very valuable to keep you out of trouble. What is good volume, percentage of volume? Beyond what it should be when one of these lights up. Or you could do it the way I do it, Michael. Think about it like this. Ask yourself before looking at volume is what percentage of the day passed by? So right now we're at about 55%, right? Give or take, maybe 56% of the day. And this is 41, so volume is low. Generally speaking, if one of these volumes lights up, even one, you've got good volume. If one of these lights up, the odds are that we're above average volume on the day. That's just from my experience. So you want to see one of these light up, at least one of them. None of them are lighting up right now. That's the 8-day, and I don't really use it very much. I use the VWAP here mostly. I just never deleted it. Just to be honest with you, Glenn, I'm not a big 8-day. Matt likes to use the 15-day intraday, which is not bad. I like to use VWAP in my eye.
15 and the 50 and the VWAP.
And yeah, I like to use just the VWAP. But you see, I would never, ever, ever go long, even if volume was amazing. If this was moving higher and this is moving lower, hell no. Hell no. Go ahead, Matt.
Just to be clear, I only use the 15 in the 50 on the index. I don't use it on individual stocks.
Right. And this is individual stocks.
Right.
We're talking about individual stocks.
Yeah.
So folks, apples, oranges, just make sure you understand. Okay. So you see how, while on its surface, the stock looks really good, but if you pull it up the momentum, look at momentum. It's losing momentum right now. And price action is kind of showing that too. It's losing momentum. Looks great. This doesn't. We want them both to jive. Okay. I think this was a smart idea to do this today. Roblox. See how we only have 1 hourly right there? And this is right on par, like 47. That means volume's okay. It's not bad. And again, volume doesn't have to be high if you have tailwind from the market. Right now, you have no tailwind from the market. Okay? Matt, my suggestion would be to get out here right by the VWAP and then get a better entry than you have right now for the same trade. That's just my 5 cents.
And then what? What was the second part?
And then get back into the trade.
Yep.
I'm just giving Matt some instructions on the current SPY trade that he has.
If we run over it, then I'll stay in. But if we
of
hesitate,
course, exactly, you got it. That we're on the same page. Sorry, folks. I'm trying to do stuff. So look, nice and blue picket fence. Momentum is good. Price action is pretty good. You got a little volume here. I like Roblox right now. I may put Roblox in. Okay, I may put Roblox in. Is momentum shifting?
Yep.
Oh, momentum is shifting to the upside right now. Good. Okay, Roblox looks good. I like Roblox. So far, out of all of the stocks we picked, to the long side, I like Roblox the best. Let's continue. And I just circled it. Let's continue. STX. STX is turning up. That's fine. It doesn't, and again, I don't really care if it's, as long as it's on this side, not on the downside. When this is moving, that's all I care about. The color's fine. Yellow, blue, that's fine. This is moving right. This is moving in the right direction. Hey, volume is really good on STX. See how you got one out of, see, Michael, daily's all green, red, but here you have green. Good enough. And here you got 72%. Now, if it was 3 o'clock in the afternoon right now, I would say this is low volume. But because it's only noon, this is good volume. So just compare this to the current percentage of the day that you think we're past, and look to see if one of these are up. As long as one of these are up, you're in reasonable shape. This is good. I'm gonna circle STX as well. So far, I like STX and I like Roblox. Let's continue. Reddit. Let's look at Reddit. Okay, Reddit is below the VWAP. It's red. It's below the VWAP. Volume is pretty good. 91%. Look at that, Michael. We're not at 91% of the day so far. We're only about 55, 60% of the day. I would probably get out right here, Matt. I don't like this price action. 91%, but we're below the VWAP. This is red. This is kind of going down. It's turning into the negative right now. I would not do it. And I had high hopes for this morning. I really liked the way price action looked. So, Futu. I remember this was on our list a few weeks ago. Okay, this is turning higher. This is moving really nicely. It's breaking out nicely. You got volume. Look, on a 5-minute basis, 15-minute basis, 30-minute basis. That's good enough. That's good enough. It's not a high volume stock, but I like it. I'm going to circle Futu. And I'll show you what I'll do afterwards. Mine doesn't show that's a recent upgrade. You can get it in the members area. That's a recent upgrade. And I'll be talking about, this is a multi-time frame, and I'll be showing you how important multi-time frame is. But look at how much insight the ProTrader dashboard gives us that you can't get without it. It's really, really vital. So Futu's on my list. Now this one I really like. The next one, SMR. I could have been persuaded earlier to take it. Okay, we're at the VWAP. Look at this, guys. All green. All green. Do you see this? All green. Everything is green. Doesn't get better than that. If you want to take a long, blue here, or, being on this side, not the downside, this being green, us being above the VWAP, and this all being green, tring, this is very good. This is very good. Okay, I'm going to put a star by it and circle. We got everything in that one. Cyrus says SMR is my choice for long. Well, it certainly looks great. Look at this. Looks beautiful. Well, I mean, what's not to like? It checks. Did you get out, Matt?
Nope.
He's a stubborn beast. All right. All green here above the VWAP. Green here, positive here. What's not to like? All right. The only thing we don't have is we don't have a lot of momentum right now because it's lunchtime, but this is very, very pretty. SMR looks very nice right now. And by the way, I'm just going to let you know, I'm going to cheat for a second and let you know that SMR right now is passing above the 50-day moving average, which is a very bullish look, and it has high volume already 2 days in a row. That's a very bullish look right there. You don't really have much resistance till 44.84. Okay? I like the stock. I like the stock. I don't like the market, but I like the stock. And when we don't like the market, what do we want? A stock that could stand on its own. What kind of a stock can stand on its own? One that has really high volume, has relative strength on every time frame, and has really high volume and is above the VWAP. You're stacking the odds in your favor, folks. You see? You're stacking the odds. Find a good daily chart. You run it through here. It gives you a really good picture. All right, let's continue. Light. Does anybody have a Miller Lite? I felt like I was, folks, I'm so sorry if I was a little off yesterday in the room. I felt so loopy. Was I a little off, Raleigh? Was I a little...
Roger, to tell you the truth, I was amazed at how perky and attentive you were. But I know you felt internally like you were probably running on fumes, right?
Yeah, I was, especially in the beginning.
But, seriously, if we think about what we talked about yesterday, it was a heavy subject, talking about
It was.
MAR, but you did great. I thought you were wonderful.
Yeah, I was jet lagged yesterday. Today I feel fine. Today I feel like maybe I slept like half hour less. That's how I feel. I feel fine. But what's interesting is yesterday, as we got in more and more into it, like towards the end, I felt fantastic till the night. Then I just crashed. All right. So I like light, and we have good volume here. We have good volume. We have good relative strength on a daily. And what I care about relative strength the most is right here, daily and 5 minutes. Daily and 5 minutes. All of this is nice, but as long as my daily's there, that means for the last 10 days, the asset is stronger than the stock market. That's really important for me. And then assuming we're not buying it on a downtick, we want the 5 minute too. So really, really important. This looks a little sloppy right now. Let's wait and see what happens. And it's kind of losing strength right now. So this looks like someone is selling it right now. Let's just wait. And I think it's down on the day. It's flat. I don't like that either. I want the stock to be pushing some weight. DoorDash, up nicely, low volume. See, I really like the way it looked on a daily chart. Look, let me show you. Here. One second here. I got you, man. I got you. I mean, it's okay. Yeah. Was Trump supposed to speak today?
He already did and finished.
He did already. All right. So let me just show you this dash. It looks very similar to SMR. It's breaking that 50-day moving average, but unlike SMR. So look, this is a perfect example. So you find two stocks. You find SMR and you find Dash. How do you pick the right one? They're doing exactly the same thing technically. You go over here, and you pull up SMR. Wow, green. It's 178 volume above the VWAP. This is positive. Up on the day. Then you pull up DoorDash. Like dead on the VWAP, dead on the vine. Red flag, low volume. Definitely not DoorDash. SMR, high probability. DoorDash, low probability. How would you know that looking at a daily chart? You wouldn't. You would have no idea because on SMR and DoorDash are both breaking up the 50-day moving average. I'm just saying but this gives you the difference. Okay. GLW. I like this one earlier today. Ooh, also, I think someone just decided to sell some like light and G. Are they related? Hold on, light Light is a technology, communication, GLWs, electronics. I think computer parts are being sold off or something. Look at Corning, right? And look at LITE, right? It looks like something is happening to both of those sectors right now on a 5-minute chart. All right. So anyway, so out of all of the stocks that I really liked, and we went through 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. We missed two. I missed two. BE. That's another one I really liked this morning. BE was up. It was hitting the 8-day EMA. Let me look at it on a daily. Yeah, look at this. We may actually put this in one of our services later today, or I may take it I like this setup a lot. This is one of my favorite setups right here. It makes a swing high, pulls back to the 8-day, and is really strong off of it. That's a really good look. Now let's look at it on volume. Nice momentum, nice relative strength, well above the VWAP, good momentum. The only thing it's lacking is volume, but it really looks great. See you later, Ken. Have a great day, Ken. Have a great day. And then the last one is APP. Oops. APP. Oh, not good. Not good. I don't like this. You see how this new this is the Master Blaster Disaster. This is that is what it means. Master Blaster Disaster, MBD.
It's a great name.
I think so too. I think so too. So we got the Master Blaster Disaster telling us, not good.
Yeah, blue to yellow.
BE, but a BE, look, blue picket fence, blue picket fence. Okay, so the stocks that I really like right now, let me show you the stocks that I really like right now. I like BE on a daily chart. I do. I'm going to circle it. This may be an overnight trade if it's running up towards the end of the day. Okay. And I'll show you how you could spot that right now, in just a few minutes. But the stocks that I like right now are SMR. I really like SMR a lot. Oh, started going negative here. Started going negative here, so we'll have to revisit it. But right now, I'm not buying. I'm not doing anything right now. Why? Because this is extremely low probability trading environment. And this trading environment completely coincides with what market internals over here are telling us, what I've been trying to tell you all day. We don't have a lot of momentum. We don't have a lot of directional bias. But I want to teach you something right now. I want to teach you something really important. So why is this important? Why is this really, really important? And this is an addition that we made to the ProTrader dashboard. So if you want to know what the ProTrader dashboard looks like, it looks like this. It's these two things. Now, when you get it out of the box, your filters will be on one page. When you scan, it'll just scan from the strongest to the weakest. I have a lot of monitors, so I have the luxury of having separate sheets, but you will just have it from the strongest to the weakest. You can always separate it. You can always ask Cam how to do it. So we could see right now what the strongest and weakest stocks are. We could see immediately. And the first thing I do is I check to see if any of my stocks are in the top 10, 15 percentile right here. Right here. Very, very, very important. That's one of the most important things that I look at. By the way, TJ Maxx. Remember TJ Maxx was on our list earlier this morning? Still up here. And the two things that I look for is which stocks are leading, if any of the stocks that I'm covering are leading, and two, if there's a rhythm to, if there's a pattern to anything like a sector, if I'm seeing stocks in one particular sector. Those are the two things that I'm looking for. Downside, and upside. Interestingly, look, all the alphabet, it's here. Here we go. You can have it alphabetical or you can have it by strength and weakness. This is what I look at intraday. This is what I look at the last hour of the day. So today, for example, and this is actually not an example. This is really what it's going to be. Like right now, I like BE, but I don't know if right now the market's crap and I wouldn't be day trading this with low volume. So at the end of the day, at about 3:30, I'm going to be going on this hourly scan and I'm going to be seeing how BE does compared to other stocks. And if BE starts bolting up here, boom, I have my winner.
Yeah.
Look at Google. Look how Google, look at TJ Maxx. Let's see if any of our other stocks are up here. Just because it's here doesn't mean anything. It has to look good on a daily. It has to, all that. So I use the scanner. So this is the ProTrader dashboard. This and this. This, and this. That's the ProTrader dashboard. So as soon as I see something coming up here, usually what I do is I'll have a daily chart here and an intraday chart here so I could right away look at one or the other, like I have it right here on the SPY. See that? Matter of fact, Matt, what I wanted you to do is add a couple more of those standard, those ATR deviations. So BE, perfect example. I'll be looking for an afternoon relative strength, okay? And those other stocks I mentioned, like SMR, if I see a SPY right now come down hard, and if I see those stocks coming up here, I'll be pouncing on them. So I'm always during the day looking at this and comparing it to the daily. Once I like the daily, I look at the intraday and I look at all of those things we talked about. And I do it all day long, especially if the market is moving. So the ProTrader dashboard is very, very useful for that. And we'll be talking more. If you haven't gotten yours, I think we have like 20 spots left at the price. I'll be talking about it in a few minutes. But I want to talk a little bit more about multi-time frame. And I want to show you something important. And this is actual example from me today, okay? So I came into the market today, and let's just begin this conversation from where we stopped the morning session, okay?
Mm-hmm.
We stopped the morning session with the fact that there's a couple of stocks looking really, really strong. The rest of the market is looking okay, but the biggest key is, are we going to get above, and more importantly, stay above the 8-day EMA? I talked about it and I gave you levels, and I talked about it for SMH. Talked about it for SMH. Right here, focus right here. This is the daily chart. I talked about it on the QQQ, and I actually gave you levels.
Yep.
I didn't just give them to you. I actually put them on Telegram. I talked about right here. Remember this? We talked about it this morning. And the same thing for the SPY, right? So I want to show you guys something, and I want to show you the value of this. And I hope you guys pay attention, because this is real. This actually happened. And I was updating you and telling you that, you guys, on Telegram, and when you look back today, you'll actually see it. So so there's a lesson here. There's a lot of value here. I hope to God that you're listening to what I'm saying right now, because you can really learn a lot right now, okay? You can really learn a lot right now, okay? So let's just go back to this morning. My concern was whether we were I was very concerned that during the night session, we were not able to break above this level right here and close above, and we were literally keying off of it. And I said, that's going to be a big, big, big maker or a breaker. So what happened today? What happened during the day after I said that in the morning? Well, the market opened up. But the volt has been going down all day. All day, the volt has been going down all day. Here it diverged, and look what happened. The SPY did what it always does, comes right back to the volt. We've talked about that before. But the volt's been going down all day. And ADD is flat, which means bearish activity, slightly bearish activity to baseline and flatness. Nothing is driving price. There's no volume hitting price right now. So the way I was looking at the market was like, I was thinking, if this thing comes up, I'm going to be very, very skeptical. And this is where the lesson comes in, and this is where you should be paying attention. So the market's looking bullish, right? It's about 10:30, 11 o'clock. The market's looking bullish. Matt's writing you notes how how he's almost convinced that Matt's writing you notes. Here, let me give you Matt's note. Let me show you something. This really happened today. Matt is writing you a note right here. We're right at pre-market high. If we can break above here with volume, I'll be more convinced that bulls are in charge. 10:45, right? Okay. Right there, trap here. Look at what I write at 11:14. Don't get too excited about the upside. Bold is diverging, ADD is flat, and price action on the SPY looks wimpy, but bonds are above. That's 11:14. Now, that's 10:35. I wrote that right here, right around here. We were still at the high when I wrote it. I said, don't get too excited. Why did I say that? What made me think that? You know what it was? Multi-time frame analysis. This is a 5-minute chart. This is a daily chart. So when this baby was all the way up here, you know what I did? Let me show you what I did. Survey says 11:12. 11:12. Where were we at 11:12? This is the 10 bar. We were still up here. We're not down here. We were up here. Look at how tiny and wimpy these candles are at the high. And currently, ADD is negative 59. This is not price action I want to see when we're breaking back in line with the 8-day EMA on daily. I'm talking about the 5-minute chart. This is a 5-minute chart. We're literally sitting at the high on a 5-minute chart. Look at where I circled this. We're at the high. This is at the high. 11 o'clock. 11 o'clock. 11 o'clock. We're at the high. Why did I look here to determine what's happening here? And look at how valuable it was. Look at how wimpy this price action was compared to these bars. Look at the size of these bars. Look at the size of these bars. Look at the size of these bars this morning. Look at the size of these bars as we're going up. Okay, we get up there. Look at the size of these bars. Look at my note at 11:12 in the morning. Look how tiny and wimpy these candles are at the high. If I was looking at the daily chart, would I have known that? Comments, feedback? Would I have known that if I was looking at the daily chart? No, I would want to go long if I was looking at the daily chart. But by looking at the size of the candles and the price action, and you see, it's easy to talk about, it's easy for people to go, well, here's what I was thinking. No. Here's what I was writing with a timestamp at 11:12. You can't go back in time, folks, and rewrite history, can we now, Raleigh? We can't go back.
We could.
Cannot go back in time, folks. 11:12 in the pit. Now look what I write afterward. Here's the game plan. I'm going to sit tight and evaluate SPY after it hits the VWAP. That's this right here. I'm writing this at 11 o'clock. It hits the VWAP. And then I give you the price level for it. Matt is a bit more bullish than me. Remember I showed you that other thing? I'm more neutral at this time. If and when SPY gets to the VWAP, we will then see which of the stocks on my list are holding up the best. And what are they all doing right now? They're just listlessly sitting down at the VWAP. Don't go chasing longs here. That's the last thing you want to do. And then we do this. So, do you understand? See, if I just tell you that it's important to look at intraday price levels and compare them to daily, you're not going to listen to me. This thing right here saved me from going long today. And I told you that it did. Right here. Multi-time frame analysis. They're not standard deviation, Glenn. They're ATR bands. Don't think Bollinger Band. Think Keltner channel.
Keltner channels, yep.
Okay. Oh, so this is really important. Multi-time frame analysis. I literally just showed you how it saved me today from going long right here when everything was looking bullish. Multi-time frame analysis. Very, very important. Okay. And one of the benefits of the new ProTrader dashboard is when you can't see something with a naked eye, it has multi-time frame analysis built in. This looks at 5 minutes. This looks at 15 minutes. And this looks at 45 minutes. And it's making sure that the 45 minute, look at that. This is still moving higher. Look at momentum. So I added this as another filter to if you didn't have this, this would look like a stock that's hitting a hitting the VWAP with high volume. But look at what multi-time frame analysis is telling us.
Right.
Today just couldn't have been a better example for so much of the stuff I'm teaching you. Point is, folks, the ProTrader dashboard has all of this built in. I just added this recently to keep you guys out of trouble. Like right now, this stock looks great. Would I buy it right now? Hell no. I may reconsider it after it turns blue again and starts coming up here, or at least starts coming up to the upper part. But I don't buy anything when it's doing this. No. So again, I wanted you guys to see exactly how the sausage is made, and I wanted you guys to see how all of these little. I wanted you to see the value. Not you see me telling you 5 times multi-time frame. You'll be like, yeah. But I showed you literally. I showed you how it literally saved my butt today, and I wrote it in the Telegram channel with a timestamp. If you were just looking at the daily chart, you wouldn't see it. If you were looking just at the 5-minute chart, you wouldn't see this. The oscillator allows you to get a better look at multi-time frame on a daily chart, on a 5-minute chart, and the 5-minute helps you get a better analysis on a time frame that's coming from a daily chart. And I'm going to repeat that, and I actually hope you're going to write this down, okay? So I'm going to repeat this. I'm going to repeat this again. If you want to get a good time frame analysis on a daily chart, you look at the 5-minute chart. If you want to get a good time frame analysis on a 5-minute chart, you look at the multi-time frame momentum. That way, you've got yourself covered every step of the way, and you're always looking at multi-time frame. You would not believe how often because you don't have this oscillator. People send me an email. They're like, Roger, the stock looks good if it hits the VWAP. I'm like, yeah, but momentum is negative. And I'll send them an email. They'll be like, I should update my ProTrader dash. A lot of people have it in their members area. They just haven't updated them. This is a very cool tool. So just to give you a little feedback, since we launched the ProTrader dashboard, we've added that tool, and we've added a couple of things here. We added a breakout filter. So when the arrow appears, it's no longer in range. It'll be breaking out. So if you're looking at specific stocks, like right now, if you're looking at the strongest stocks on a 5-minute, let's say you're looking at these, but Baidu and Match, they haven't broken out yet. You wouldn't have to look at the chart. You would just sit here, have it on your screen, and when this turns green, boom, you're good to go. We also added, I don't have it here because I use alerts, but we also added right here a VWAP filter. So if one of these stocks hits the VWAP, it turns yellow. So the ProTrader, so when you add this screener to this baby, it really puts everything in perspective. So if you don't have the ProTrader dashboard yet, I'm going to do a class on it right now. It'll be a pretty quick class. I highly, we opened up 50 spots yesterday. Right after the webinar, we closed 20 spots. And since the webinar, we closed another 10. It's going to say 30 spots available, but I think we only have like 15, right? Maybe 20, 15. Today's the last day because we will sell those spots today. If you haven't gotten into it yet, this is a really good time to do it. Matt, if you don't mind, would you give the YouTube maybe 5-10 minutes and then turn it off? Yeah. I'm going to go ahead and close my chat box. make
So
Raleigh
Roger,
happy.
can I mention a couple things real
Oh,
quickly here
please.
before we
Yes,
move
please.
on?
Yes, of
And
course.
once again, I just want to give everybody here some perspective from my standpoint. I hope everybody understands here that Roger just spent the last 45 minutes describing what an A plus trade looks like. He went from stock to stock to stock, and he has a consistent way of deciding, is this something that I want to trade? And he showed you how. Last week, we talked about A plus trades. What's the definition of an A plus trade? Can you grade yourself as having an A plus trade? And he just did it. He just showed you. And Roger could document, and you should be documenting the things that Roger looks at to decide when to enter a trade. It's more than just the dashboard. It takes internals into place, etc. And it was repeated time and time again, number one. Number two, for anybody that has really believed that multiple time frames is important to you, the problem, Roger, we've all had is we just don't have the screen real estate to do it, or the time to constantly flipping back from tab to tab to tab. By virtue of the fact that on one display, I can see across the top exactly what's going on. Folks, in a decision-making process, when you've got that, it's clear as a bell. And the last thing I wanted to share with you, Roger, the ProTrader dashboard feels to me like a fighter jet. So I'm sitting in the cockpit and I'm sitting there and I'm going like, oh, I didn't know I had a Sidewinder.
It's
I didn't know that
yeah.
I had a laser guarded this. Guys, it's a comprehensive platform that you're not going to learn in one sitting. It's something that you basically get into, you bond with it, and you stay with Roger in the VIP room, etc., and you learn all the ticks, the trips, the tips and tricks that it can provide, because it is awesome, Roger. And so many people in here shared with us, man, what a light bulb moment to see that. Boy, I didn't know it could do that. Holy smoke, how do I get that, as it relates to the oscillator? And so once again, I just thought I would share how people responded in the chat room and my own personal feelings of the value of this presentation. Well done, friend.
Appreciate it. And also, folks, remember that that a lot of times, I would say 7 out of 10 times, multi-time frame analysis will really save you. Will really save you. Like really save you, because you will see things that you're not happy with. You will see things that will avoid you. Tom, it depends what kind of options you're doing. It just depends. I try to shoot from, if it's a day trade, I try to shoot from 10 to 20%. If it's a swing trade, I try to shoot from 15 to 34%. But my win rate is in 90th percentile, even or 80th percentile on the swing trade. So it's really strong. Mm-hmm. And most folks who hold after I leave the trade, they even do better than me. 9 out of 10. They will tell you that. They will always tell you that. Okay, so I'm going to do a class right now. Folks, if you don't have the ProTrader oh, and I will say this. I just wanted to add something. That's what I wanted to say, Raleigh. Maybe it's against my interest in saying this, but the ProTrader dashboard does have a smaller learning curve than Alpha Zone Pro, and I'll explain why. Because stocks move slower than indexes. I think everybody knows that. Indexes kind of do this, or stocks just move like a tank. So for a lot of beginners, it takes you a little time to make your decision. You get frozen in time. When you get frozen in time and you're dealing with stocks, you can kind of unfreeze. But with indexes, E-minis or SPY, you got to act really quick. So that takes time to learn. So in terms of that, not in terms of difficulty technically, in terms of difficulty emotionally, okay? Right. It's very important to differentiate the two, because day trading, when you're doing speed trading, in and out every 15, 20 minutes, psychologically can be a little difficult for people. That's all. Richard's using the ProTrader dashboard and Alpha Zone Pro all the time.
Yeah.
All right, guys.
Such good comments here. And Roger, one last thing is this that I want to share with everybody. Roger mentioned Customer Service Live many times, and here's the value to you folks. A number of you had a question like, ooh, how do I get that? Or my chart doesn't show that, or I'd like to have that, or can I get an alert when that occurs? These are all wonderful questions, and the answer is probably yes, and yes. The reason why Customer Service Live was created is we give you 3 hours every day from Monday through Friday from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m., where you can go right into customer service live, where Cam and Gustavo are. They know the ProTrader dashboard and all of our products extremely well, number one. Number two, they're also traders, so they know where you're coming from. And they only have one responsibility and goal, and that's to make sure that you're absolutely delighted with your investments in our products and services. So find the time when you've got questions. It's the best way to get them addressed. And oh, by the way, if you go in there, you probably won't be surprised that maybe some people ahead of you are asking the same question you're asking, but they know what they're doing and they're there to help you. And so, Roger, I just want to reinforce that in everybody, that the value of that service for those people that are getting up to speed. And I'm going to post that for you here, guys, just so that you have it. Customer service live, 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. daily, tradingpub.com/help, and that will take you right into that room. Anyway, Roger, once again, it's a key group and it's a key point.
Absolutely. All right, folks. Now I'm going to do a class. This is a formal class on the Pro